Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. We are in so many countries today. We even have a new country that I learned from, that I learned it existed. So, what a great and exciting morning for Mentor Monday. Mentor Monday is the place to hang out if you want to learn a little bit about where we're at in for life, what's going on with the news. I'll be posting some of those in the chat. But what we really come to do is get inspired, get mentored by the greatest mentor that we have in this company, Mr. Dave Daughtrey. Mr. Dave Daughtrey has nothing else to prove. He has over 200 millionaires in his list. He has visited over 100 countries. I just came from his beautiful house. That was one of my bucket dream lists. I made it happen, which was to watch the sunset from his beautiful house that you can see north, south, east, and west, built by design. I call it build your house by design. Like, how do you want your house to be? So if you don't know him, you can get to know him a little bit more in the Facebook groups and coming to these meetings. But today, you're going to get to learn from him. So get added to that list of millionaires that he has built, that he has trained, that he has mentored, that he has cut with his own scissors to become the greatest man that they can be, the best versions of themselves, just by educating in a system, training from what he has learned. He's got over 40 years of experience in network marketing. And this man, his heart is just about leaving behind a legacy where we can become whatever we want to be and to the level that we want to be. So if you're part of that list and you want to say, yes, I want it, I want to become the best version of me, then take a pen and paper and get ready to learn with Mr. Dave Daughtrey. Dave, you got the mic.
Thank you, Claudia. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So yes, I am up in Utah right now, up in Salt Lake City, visiting the For Life corporate offices. I will be here throughout the week, meeting with some of the other platinums that have come in, and we're going to be discussing a plan for 2025, mainly focused here in the United States. As you know, For Life is a global company. We're all over the world. We have a corporate presence, meaning For Life is registered in many cases with offices throughout Europe, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, South America, Central America, North America, and so forth. So our goal is to eventually take transfer factor, take our products to the world. And we're going to do that through science, success, service, and satisfaction. And that's what For Life is known for. You see, For Life started building their brand back in 1998, and we've been coined the immune system company. And here's what I find interesting. If you were to Google the immune system company back in, I guess when Google first started, I don't know what year that would be, 2005, 2004, somewhere around there maybe. We have been known as the immune system company from the very beginning. Well, in February of 2020, right before we all found out about COVID, my business was doing about a million a day of business.
Nice.
Well, in March, in 30 days, during those 30 days of March 2020, it went up. It grew 500,000 a day. Imagine that. It went up over 15 million in 30 days. Why was that? Not because I was working any harder. I mean, I was working, doing everything I always do. It's because For Life had branded our company as the immune system company. And guess what happened when people found out about what was happening with COVID traveling the world? Everybody became interested in whatever they could find that would help their immune system. So branding is very important. I can mention brand names, and I'm sure that it will paint a picture in your mind. If I say something like Nike, what's the first thing you can see? I see the Nike swoosh, right? The swoosh of Nike. And I remember when Phil Knight, in fact, there's a wonderful book called Shoe Dog. Love that book. If you ever want to read a good book, Shoe Dog, it's the Phil Knight story. How he was looking for that logo. You know how much he paid for that logo? $70. All right. You know what that logo is worth today? How many billions of dollars, that Nike logo? But all he wanted was something that appeared to have the sound of someone running past you, somebody running by you, a swoosh. And that's how that logo came about. So branding is something very important. I can mention all kinds of names, McDonald's. There's one that goes around the world, say McDonald's. I wouldn't say McDonald's has the best hamburger. I've certainly tasted better hamburgers than McDonald's hamburger. But one thing I can say about McDonald's, you can't miss the golden arches. When you're going down the street and you see those golden arches, you know it's McDonald's. And they've done a good job of duplicating. I can have a McDonald's hamburger in Singapore, and I can have one in South Africa, wherever, and it tastes the same. So they're known as a company that really, really knew how to duplicate. All right. So all these things are so important when it comes to your success, and your business. You know, as Claudia mentioned, I joined this industry of networking in 1981. I'm going to be 65 years old here in a couple months. And looking back at it, I'm just looking at the journey I've had over the last 44 years, because it's all I've done. In fact, I sat next to a gentleman on the airplane. I'm flying to Utah. Claudia flew back to Canada. Claudia, I can't believe you're even on here today. I thought you'd be resting. But thank you for being here. She had I don't know how long of a flight Claudia had. I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8 hours. I flew for what, an hour and a half to get up to Salt Lake, but sat next to a lawyer. And I'm a curious person. And I asked him what he did. He says he's a lawyer, and he asked me what. You ask somebody what they do, chances are they're going to ask you what you do. And as I was talking about networking and what I do, I mentioned to him. I said, I've never really had a job. I've never worked for anybody but myself. And he goes, well, he said to me, congratulations. It looks like you've done quite well. And I said, yeah, but I've learned a lot. It's all about development and learning. So when I go back to the very beginning, when I started networking, one of the things I did, which I encourage all of you to do, even me, I still do this, pick things up from people. All right. The one thing I love about this type of business is that successful people in this business are always willing to share what they do, how they got to where they are, how they've become successful. And here's why. You can't do it alone. The only way you can move up to diamond and presidential diamond and bronze and silver and gold and platinum is by building people, working with people, developing people. This is not just about selling bottles. It's not running around, trying to find people that are sick that want to buy a bottle. Now, don't get me wrong. I talk to people every day, and I can say that many of the people I talk to have health challenges. They have health problems. It could be any particular system, cardiovascular system, digestive system, respiratory system. I have products that can help them. I don't deny them the product, but that's not my focus. My focus is building the brand, building for life, building a company that is based on science, success, service, and satisfaction, and has been basically branded as the immune system company. All right. Now, let me ask you all a question. What's your brand, your personal brand? What I mean by personal brand, when you talk to somebody and you share something with them, whether you present the plan or you just meet somebody for the first time, like I met this lawyer, all right, on the plane. First impressions, in our business, they are important, especially if you're in recruiting mode and you're trying to sponsor people and you're trying to build your business and build for life. Well, people will buy you first. They buy you, you see, even before you have a chance to tell them about your wonderful product, your wonderful company, what you represent. I was talking to the lawyer. I love presenting. I think it's a lot of fun because and I think it makes me look smart too sometimes because I start talking about this immune messenger molecule and how it's extracted from, colostrum, the first maternal milk. And, I talk about how it acts as an immunomodulator. It actually can, and he brought that up, this lawyer brought that up. He said, well, that's great about educating the immune system. I mean, he totally agreed with me. He goes, but a lot of people suffer from problems of an overactive immune system. I said, aha, you're right. Transfer factor also acts as an immunomodulator. So using these words, it's like I sound like a doctor. I'm not a doctor, all right? But I took the time to educate myself, learning from others, listening to others, taking notes from others. And this goes all the way back to 1981 when I first went to a meeting and saw for the first time in my life some millionaires. And I knew they were millionaires. They weren't faking it just because I could tell from what they were driving and even how they were acting. They were good people. And what they were wearing, their watches, Rolex, and all that stuff. And I thought to myself, these guys are willing to teach me. They're willing to teach me skills, what's taken them maybe a lifetime or however long to learn. They're willing to teach me all this. And they're not even charging me a penny. Why? Well, because I was part of their team when I joined. And my success is their success. You see? And that's what I love about this business. The same applies to you and me, all of us here right now on this Zoom. Your success is dependent upon the success of others. Therefore, what is our responsibility? One of our main responsibilities, help others succeed. So, how are you known right now? If somebody were to say, "Hey, I know Ali, or I know Jonathan, or I know Jefferson, I know Senelia," you know, how do people know you? That's your personal brand, you see. Well, we all have character, we all have personality, but in marketing, and that's what networking is marketing, it's storytelling, it's building something, all right? How do people know you? People buy you first, like I just said, meaning as soon as you start talking to someone, all right, if you really pay close attention, you can tell if they're listening or not, all right? So when I talk to people, I'm acutely aware that there's something called the like factor. What's the like factor? Well, some people naturally have this. You meet them. I mean, Claudia's one. Claudia has a like factor. You meet her, she's just so warm and friendly and bubbly. She just basically, it's like, she's just like welcomes you. And some people just naturally have the like factor. Some people have to work at it a little bit more. It's okay, but you know what? Everybody can have the like factor. And that's part of your brand. You see, people like you. People are like, you know what? That person, there's this wonderful person. And so people will buy you first. So it's important to understand that if somebody does like you, the chances are pretty good that they may buy something from you. But here's the second step, trust, the trust factor, you see? And that's also part of your personal brand. As you talk to people, you start working with people, trust is, I mean, it's essential. You have to have trust. Relationships are built on trust, and your entire network is built on trust. And that's why I joined For Life, frankly. I was 18 years in this business of networking. I went through three companies. All three of those companies failed me. Now, I didn't fail myself. It wasn't my fault. I was working hard. I was doing what I was supposed to do. I was out talking to people, making friendships, building people, building trust with people, building a network. Well, the company didn't do its job and it crashed. Bad management, bad culture, they didn't do things right. Happens every day. Companies go down. Well, I joined For Life because of one individual. One person was the reason I joined For Life. Didn't know much about transfer factor. In fact, I even told the person that introduced it to me, I said, I don't know a lot about it, but I've been taking it for a couple of months. I love how I feel. It's I've read a bit about it and it just sounds wonderful, but you can have the best product in the world. You can have a product that cures every cancer there is. But whoever's running the company, whoever is building this brand of For Life, well, if they don't know what they're doing and they don't have all of the important, what I call indicators, meaning that the credibility, integrity, principles, values, experience, vision, all right? What's their exit strategy? Are they going to sell the company? What's their plan? And so when I met David Lisenby, immediately I knew that day in my heart, with me or without me, For Life was going to be a global company, successful company, and they were going to build a wonderful brand because the products work. The products are based on real science. David Lisenby invests a lot of money in science. And frankly, that's the number one pillar of For Life, science. If you go on forlife.com and have a look, at For Life, where it says about For Life, you'll see the four pillars: science, success, service, and satisfaction. And they told me science is number one because without the science, we don't really have a company, you see. And that was his promise to us, that everything that he brings to us will be based on real sound science, proven. So, and that's what excited me about For Life. So now I have to do my part. All right. My part is to get out and build so this company could survive. All right. The company's survival depends on us. They don't do like Nike. They don't do advertising on TV, you know, and they don't do ads in magazines and on the radio and television, all that. They don't do that. They depend solely on you and I to get out there and help build the For Life brand, bring people in, expose people to the products. Now, we have a goal by 2030 to have 3 million homes using our products. 3 million. And you can even see this if you go to, it might even be in the app, if you go to the news section, how we're doing, because they do post every month how many new homes we have, how many new families we have using our products. But that's the goal, 3 million by 2030. And so the only way that's going to happen, you guys, only way is for us to get out and hustle and build For Life. But in the meantime, as you're building For Life, understand people will buy you. And this is one of the reasons why one thing that I've always struggled with a little bit is the word team. All right. For Life is our family. And I look at my entire organization in For Life, which consists of people all over the world. As Claudia mentioned, I have over 200 millionaires in my organization now, and they're very independent. One of them is in India. He might be home now, but he was in India last week, Jeff Outgilbers. They're traveling the world doing their thing. These guys are multi millionaires, all right, that began with me through my journey, starting back in 1998. And so, as I've met people and worked with people and so forth, a lot of them build their teams. You all are building a team as well. Every single person has a team. And that's why when I call people, I talk to them and say, hey, how's your team doing? And I may talk to somebody under them, how's your team doing? And the reason I do that is because I want everybody to understand something that's extremely important. All right. Extremely important for your success. The greatest security in the world lies within yourself. I'll repeat that. The greatest security in the world lies within yourself, meaning that you don't want to have to depend on upline, all right, for your success. Depend on yourself. But it's good to use the upline when necessary. Upline serves the downline. I'm your servant, you see. I serve my people. You want to duplicate the same thing. So as you're out there building your brand, who you are, people identify with you, how they remember you. All right. Let's say that you're gone, 50 years from now. How do you want people to remember you? Or maybe 100 years from now. The point is, we're all doing that. So we have to continuously do something that I feel is very important. Develop, grow. And that's what I call purpose. All right. Everybody has a purpose in life. What's your purpose? Okay. I've learned that if I don't have a purpose, I'm not happy. And I honestly believe that people even go to the means of doing things like committing suicide. You look at celebrities, they're famous. They committed suicide. Why? Because they lost purpose. You know, they probably achieved all these things in life, and it was the most important thing to them. And then it's not there anymore because they achieved it and they're not happy. And so I feel that it's so important for us all to have that purpose. All right. And I do believe that that purpose also it's who you are, who you become. And so I look at myself, I am a networker. What's a networker? I have a lot of fun with that. In fact, I did it last night. I went out to eat with my sister. I took her out to dinner last night. Her and her family, it was her husband and her daughter Mia. And we were talking, and the waiter came up and started talking. And again, it's just kind of how I've developed, over my career of communication and how to connect with people. And I saw that they had this tea and what to drink. And I was looking at the menu, and I said to him, they're just non-alcoholic beverages that were there. And I saw the tea, and there's one tea specifically, Huckleberry. Has anybody here had Huckleberry? I've never had Huckleberry. You ever heard of Huckleberry? Huckleberry tea. And so I told the waiter, I said, I see you have different kinds of tea. What's your favorite tea? And he goes, well, it's between Huckleberry and mango. And I said, is a Huckleberry pretty good? He says, yeah. I said, okay. Well, after he came, probably 3 or 4 times to our table, he asked me what I did. He goes, what do you do? And I said, I'm a networker. And it's funny because my sister and Mia and Dan, her husband, were just kind of observing. Dan is an extremely shy, reserved guy. He hardly even talked at the dinner table. You got to pry his mouth open to get him to talk. You know what Dan does? He makes drones for the Defense Department of the United States. He makes drones. All right. So doesn't have to talk to anybody to make a drone. All right. Now, Michelle, my sister, she is very talkative. She enjoys, but they're watching, and I'm communicating with this guy. And I told him that I build a network of people. It's a community. It's a team of people, and I market a product called Transfer Factor for Life. You've heard of For Life? There's down the freeway. And he goes, yeah, I think I've driven by there before. The point I'm trying to make you guys is as you're out there building For Life, remember every seed that you plant, every person you share with, every day that you're building your For Life business, you're building yourself. You're building you, you see. You're learning, you're developing, you're growing, and that's your personal brand, how people know you. All right. So I'd actually like to open the microphones here and see, because we've got people, from different places and probably some new people here. Jillian, welcome. Thank you for
Hi.
being with us. I know that you've spent a lot of time as well in marketing. And if you don't mind sharing a few words as well about building your personal brand.
Yep, sure. Hi, everybody. Hope it's nice to see everybody. And I know there's a lot of people coming in first time from all over the world right now. So it's nice to welcome everybody. But yes, I've actually shared a presentation. I don't want to get into it right now because I think it's nice to have a conversation about, trust. 'Cause you brought that up, Dave, because I think that's one of the things that brand is ultimately, an opportunity for you to build trust, because it's consistency in presence so that people can not only get to know who you are, but what you stand for. So that's one of the things I really believe in. And I have actually shared a video that I created when I was introduced to For Life. I was asked to be a presenter to talk about, how to build strong first impressions and how to build a strong brand presence. So if you are part of the upline Pro Circle group. And if you're new to this meeting, please make sure you join that. If somebody can just share the link to the Facebook group. We have a private group for members of Dave's team that we share some tips on business development. And one of the things that I shared inside there was a presentation that I did last year when I was first introduced to the company. And I also have a little checklist in there for you to help you make sure that your social media brand matches who you are as an in-person personality. Because that's the one thing I think that sometimes we forget to do is that, you know, right now I haven't met many of you in person, right? And by the way, for those that are new here, I do my business from an island in the Caribbean. I think I have one customer on the island. I haven't even launched my business on the island. I've been doing this business now for a year, and I build trust virtually. So, I mean, I did have the pleasure of meeting Melissa in person at a Utah event. So Melissa O'Connor's here, but you know, but we met each other. We loved each other when we finally got to know each other. But now I build an online business, you know, relationship with her. But there's many people that I have here that I've never met in person, like Siobhan Shaw, like from Growing to Gives on my team. She's actually somebody I've never met in person, but I built trust with her because that in yourself is you're building your brand, is building trust. So just remember that that's first and foremost, your brand is trust. So if you can present yourself virtually as authentically as you can with every message that you present, to never get into a position of being, you know, if you want to attract your tribe or attract your vibe or attract your money to some degree, you want to make sure that you are presenting yourself in every message that you present online as you would do in person. That's just a little tip for me, and I do have that presentation on there. But I do want to say welcome to those that have come in. You know, we have quite a few people that are new, and I want you to understand that regardless of where you are situated in the company, and like, just so you know, I don't have an office on this tiny island. You know, there is no distribution center. I get my personal products shipped from Miami, so I have to pay a little extra fee to get my products myself personally. However, my business and my purpose, like Dave mentioned, and that was, thank you for bringing that up, because my purpose is helping people heal. I'm a health advocate first and foremost, and my brand is Feel Good, Share Good. You'll see my little icon there, good. I want everybody to feel good. I finally feel good after having taken not a different route for my health journey, which was away from pharmaceuticals. I wanted to get introduced to nutraceuticals, and over that time frame, and it's interesting, you know, I stopped taking something that I was used to taking with For Life, and over the last couple of weeks, I've gone downhill. And it's interesting how, you know, how the lack of certain nutrients in our body can affect us. And I'm almost like a little living example of this, right? So, you know, the products that I was introduced with, I would just like raring to go. And guess what? I stopped taking them because I thought, oh, you know, I'm okay. I don't need them. I'm all right. I'm fine. But the last couple of weeks has hit me that my body does need these things. And I'd rather, you know, go back to feeling good again. So my brand is about feeling good. And when you feel good, you share good. And I don't want anybody here thinking because I'm over on an island or I'm over in a country, I'm over where, you know, where I may have restrictions in certain, you know, because of circumstances beyond your control. You know, you can by presenting trust online. Some of you have actually just met me, by the way, because of an introduction from somebody that trusts me. She trusts me. So in turn, she wants to introduce you to something that could help you. That's how you build your business. Most of the time I get my people on my team because of referrals, because of my reputation of trust. And by the way, I haven't met this lady in person. So how do you build your business? Is it by referrals and by building your brand? So this is really important. But what we do have that Dave didn't really go into too much is that we have probably one of the most innovative, most underrepresented medical miracles that I've ever seen in the world, and ever in my entire years of, you know, being on this earth. And yes, I have a business background. Yes, I have an industry background where I was a top leader, a top salesperson, but I never really found my purpose, or I never found the company that would align me to what I needed to do, which was to help people heal naturally, long term, not temporarily. Okay. So now we have something, and what better way to build on my reputation, because I do believe in integrity more than anything else. Trust is my number one core value. If you've never done a core value exercise, please go ahead and do that, because my number one, if I can't trust you, I don't want to invest in you, because my time is life and I want to help somebody have the best time ever by feeling good. So you have a gift here today. So make sure if you don't know what this company's all about, please educate yourself on this, because the trust factor is there, number one. The company is global. The opportunity is there. You just have to have the desire to do it. So thanks, Dave. So thank you for bringing up the brand and, the reputation and purpose. Like, I think sometimes we forget about the purpose aspect of it.
Right.
It's not just about
Right.
making money. And yes, you are the millionaire maker, but you also are the person that helps people have purpose, which is a good
Right. Thank you, Jillian. I appreciate your words, and we're blessed to have you as part of our organization, our family, our community, our team. So thank you. And that leads me, as Jillian was talking about, feel good, share good. Purpose does change, right? When I joined For Life, my purpose when I began, honestly, was to survive. I wanted to survive. I was broke. I had no money. I honestly had no family at the time. I had been through a divorce. I left everything with my ex. The one car we had, I left with her. All the furniture she kept. All I had was a few clothes. I slept on the floor on a Japanese futon, a little Japanese mattress. And that's how it was during 1998 when I joined For Life. But funny thing is, I was actually excited. I had a new a new life in a way, new purpose. But at the time, the excitement was, okay, I'm so far low, so far down. There's only one way to go, and that's up. And I did each month, little by little by little. Yes, it took a lot of sacrifice. It took a lot of work, talking to a lot of people. I had days sometimes my tongue hurt from talking so much to people on the telephone, calling people and just finding anybody that would listen to my message. And we'll get into messaging on another call. But what happened over the years is my purpose started to change. In 2006, I made platinum. It took me 8 years of work, 8 years of building and traveling and finding people that want to achieve their dreams, and I could work with them. And when I made platinum, I'm not bragging, but that's when my income did go over $100,000 a month. That was in 2006. And all of a sudden, things started changing for me. And as time went by, I started noticing that this business, it's a bit like a revolving door. People come, people go, people come back, people don't come back. Some people stay for a while. Some people maybe they come this month, they're gone next month, they're back the month after. That's just how it is. Everybody has a life. Everybody, people are doing things. They're busy. I'm looking for those that want to stay inside with me and build, 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 build. What I found interesting is people all of a sudden that were with me over 20 years ago, they're coming back. I'm going to have lunch with somebody today in Utah. He's from Colombia. He just moved up to Utah in October. And I was talking to him last month. And the only reason I talked to him really is because somebody's told me, he said, hey, if you talk to Victor, he moved to Utah. And I said, no, I'll give Victor a call. I call Victor. We start talking. And I asked him a question. I said, Victor, do you still have a little spark in you to build a network? I know that you've done it before and you've had some success. You see, the company he was with after he left me 20 years ago failed, went down. And he said, let me tell you tomorrow. Next day went away, and he said, I do, Dave. I've got a spark in me still. Let's do it. And so he's already brought in first month, I don't know, 8, 10 people or so to the table. Good people too that he's known. So my purpose all of a sudden has changed, and that I started thinking to myself, what can I do to best serve my people? Serve those that come into this revolving door of For Life and decide that this is where they want to build their dreams. They want to build a legacy. You can do that here. So I decided to start a brand that's now, this is what I want to be known for when it comes to my personal brand, Upline Pro. So I want to encourage you all. Upline Pro, the website is up. Go to uplinepro.com. You'll see the calendar. I encourage you to join, become a member. Why? Because that's my way of communicating with you. If I can offer anything to help you achieve your dreams and your goals, it gives me purpose. And that's what I love, you see? So we have the Facebook page, Upline Pro. There's an inner circle as well. You have to be invited to the inner circle. The inner circle private Facebook, it's only for those that are actually in building. It's not for anybody that's looking, that's a prospect or somebody investigating. It's for those that have made a decision. Okay, I want to be connected. The number one reason people fail in this type of business of networking is that they get disconnected and they have nowhere to go, no one to connect with that can provide the continuous, motivation, mentorship, everything that they need, inspiration, all those things that we all need in order for us to continue the journey towards success, because there's barriers, there's challenges, there's even sharks along the way, there's crocodiles, people that want to tear your arms and legs off, they don't believe in you. And I always go back to what my mentor told me. The greatest security there is lies within yourself. So Upline Pro is one of my projects I'm working on. And I want to say this about our Mentor Monday. This Mentor Monday, I know many of you may be new and you're wondering, okay, I want to know more about transfer factor. I want to know more about the pay plan. I want to know more about the process of building. If I'm going to go talk to people, what am I going to tell people? Mentor Monday is first about building you, all right? Developing you. One of my top mentors, Jim Rohn. Some of you might have known Jim Rohn. I knew Jim personally, all right, back in the 80s. He would always say, if you want to build your pocketbook, if you want to build your income, you need to build yourself. Work on you. And if you work on you and you develop yourself, your income will grow. Grow yourself and your income will grow. And that's what Mentor Monday is about. And that's why we always talk about things like building your brand, how to build trust in a network of people. And so there's always going to be a theme that we have on Mentor Mondays, right? That's today, Mentor Monday. Now, if you need training on products and things like that, certainly we offer that, we do that. But what I would encourage you to do, the number one place to go, you guys, is right in your cell phone, right? You have the app. You can see right there. You'll probably see the For Life. There it is, that app, all right? Download it into your Android or your iPhone. If you've already signed up and you have an ID number, you just put your ID number in with your password. What's your password? You had to have created a password when you signed up. It's the only way that you can finish the sign up process. And so you should know your password. If you don't, you can always click on forgot password and it will send you an email. Hopefully you put your email in when you signed up. All right. But the point is, get the app, log into it. If you're not signed up, talk to the person that invited you and get you signed up. You can sign up pretty much anywhere in the world. If you are in a country like Zimbabwe, for example, and I've been to Harare. In fact, I actually jumped off the Zambezi River Bridge between Zambia and Zimbabwe. I jumped off that bridge, bungee jumping. And so wherever you are, you can sign up in they're called emerging markets. It's $10, actually $9.99. And you can get your For Life ID number. Log into the app. Go to, if you want to know products, just click on products. There's videos, profile, all kinds of information that you can start researching and learning, and then the pay plan. There's videos and brochures, but talk to the person who invited you. That's the best way, and have them give you a presentation and start learning about that. So I want to thank you all for joining here today. Since we have new people, I want to see if there are any questions. We can open up the mics. I see Lloyd has got his hand up. So Lloyd, let me unmute you here. And Lloyd, the microphone is yours. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Lloyd. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Okay, Lloyd.
Okay.
How are you, Lloyd? Can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear you for some reason. No, you must have your mic must be muted on your end, because I have you unmuted here.
Could be
Jillian,
the
do you know where Lloyd
Wi-Fi.
is? Is Lloyd
Yeah,
is
Lloyd
Lloyd?
is in I believe he's in, I'm not sure if he's in Cameroon or if his wife is in Cameroon. Have to-
It looks like
Okay.
he's
but I can
frozen.
connect with
So
him
he's
afterwards.
having
I have him
connection
on
issues.
WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you're able to get it, you can always type in the chat as well. If you have a question, you want to type it in the chat. We'd be more than happy to answer. Oh, Lloyd is from Zimbabwe. Okay, wonderful.
That was right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, let me just share real quick about Zimbabwe. I traveled, through Zimbabwe a few years back, and we had a what we call an LP center in South Africa, in Johannesburg, that was shipping product up into some of the other countries. Some countries are easy to send products to, and some are difficult. Um, it all depends on the control of the government. Um, Things may have lightened up a little bit since then, but I did find Zimbabwe to be a fairly difficult country. Now, it may have lightened up. I don't know, but I know, like in East Africa, sending products throughout East Africa is not too difficult. From Kenya to Uganda to Tanzania, Rwanda, they send them out on a bus and they get delivered the same day, if at the latest the next day. But some countries are just a bit more difficult. So probably have to discuss that with Jillian. We can have a discussion as to the best way. But here's what's important. Here's what I really want you to understand. It doesn't matter where you live. Jillian lives on a little island in the Caribbean. All right. If you go to forlife.com, in fact, let me show you guys real quick, since we got a couple minutes here. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to open up my, give me 1 second here. Has Lloyd been able to open up his mic, Jillian? Do you know?
No, I think
Okay.
he logged off of there.
Okay. Let me go back here to my Zoom. I don't use my laptop very often, you guys, so share. Okay, you should be able to see my screen. Can you see my screen? How do I make that bigger? It's pretty small. Okay, can you see my screen, Jillian?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. All right, let me minimize this other stuff here. I'm so used to having a 4-foot wide screen at home. Okay, so this is the 4Life website, forlife.com. And if you go to About 4Life and you click on Success and you click on Recognition, okay, you can go and let's just take bronze, all right? Bronze. These are bronzes. Bronzes have a business where they're doing a business at least 20,000 life points a month. I have bronzes in my business that make anywhere from $3,500 up to $25,000. Just depends on how mature your network is. If you're a brand new bronze, you just got to bronze, you're probably gonna be pushing anywhere from the $3,000 to $5,000 mark, okay, of monthly income. So let's go over to where it says all countries. I'm going to click the drop down and I'm going to click emerging market. These are the markets where there is no For Life office, no corporate office. Okay, so let's have a look. Look at this. These people all live in a place where For Life does not have a corporate office. Let's go up to the next rank. Let's go up to silver. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Look at this. All these silvers. No, wait a second. That can't be. I got all countries. Let's go to emerging markets. There we go. That makes more sense. Here's a couple of silvers in emerging markets. Okay. So these people are building the business, even though For Life, let's look at gold. For Life doesn't have an office there. So when somebody says, Dave, look at there's two golds right here, Hugo and Arelis Flores.
Am I in there, Dave?
Well, these are golds.
No, but going to presidential elite, that kind of makes it, well, I won't be in
I
that
don't
one.
think presidential elite is
No, it
because
doesn't.
it's
No, you're right.
bronze. You go
No,
bronze
you're
and
right. You're right. You're right.
yeah, bronze and above. Now there
Curious.
won't be platinums. There's no platinums in emerging markets, but Jillian's going to be our first. So in fact, actually platinums, you can't platinums are just you don't even do it by country. But the point is this. I want you all to think globally. Globally. You can live anywhere in the world. If you've got access to communicate with people, and that's called internet, whether it's from a cell phone or from a computer. I've got a young man, I don't think he's with us right now. Quick story, then we'll finish. A young man named Martin Lukwanzi. Is Martin with us? Do you see a Martin on here, Jillian, by
I don't
chance?
see Martin today.
Okay.
No.
Let me, how can I do this here? Forgive me, guys. I'm going to share my screen again. I just want to show this all to you. So I met Martin last week. Okay. Well, let's have a look. When I met Martin, I'm going to show you his WhatsApp or communication. All right. How did I meet Martin? Let me tell you that first. I've got a guy in Ecuador. He speaks Spanish. I speak fluent Spanish, by the way, and Portuguese. And he tells me, Dave, I have someone in Uganda that's interested. And I said, great, let me talk to him. That's what I do. So I talked to Martin. Now, Eduardo is listening, and all Eduardo can say is, hello, Martin. That's it. That's the extent of Eduardo's communication with Martin. Okay. Now I know that he was communicating with him on, I think it was Facebook. He was using probably a translation app, those apps that translate for you. And who knows, maybe Facebook translates it for you. I don't know exactly, but anyhow, he brought Martin to the table. Okay. I start talking to Martin. I'm a networker. Part of networking is identifying. That's step 3 in my plan of action, by the way, which you will find on my Upline Pro if you become a member and you log in. My plan of action is there. Step 3 is identify. I identified Martin, number 1, as a networker, a leader, a go-getter, and he's 28 years old. Okay, 28 years old. And so he's in his 20s. And so let me share this with you. And just to show you in such a short period of time what has happened with Martin since he was introduced to For Life, which was a week, maybe 2 weeks ago at the most. But let's have a look. Let me open up my WhatsApp real quick and share screen. Okay, you all should be able to see my WhatsApp. And this is, you guys, this is reality. This is real. I'm not making any of this up. All right. This is what networking's all about. Let me expand my screen here. Okay. Can you see this, Jillian? Okay. Here he's right here. Martin Lukwanzi. Okay. So what was my first communication with Martin? Let's see here. I started communicating with him. Let's go up all the way to the top. How do you get to the top here? This is about, so February 8th, it looks, there we go. February 8th. How long ago was that? 9 days ago? All this communication. Hello, leader. This is Leader Martin from Kampala, Uganda. Okay. So, so here we're communicating. I'm sending messages. He's sending messages. All right. And he takes his leaders. I guess the pictures didn't download into my, let's see here. That's one of the Zooms he got on a Zoom. Oh, okay. This is when he signed up. So he signed up here, sent his ID, signed up. All right. And there's one picture I'm looking for, you guys. Be patient with me here. Oh, he got the app. I told him all about the app. So he's got the app now, and he's learning how to use the app. Okay. And there he is right there. All right. Let's keep going here. Maybe this is the one I'm looking for. There we go. Got to turn my head. Here he is with his key leaders. He took them all out, talking to them about For Life. He's already networking. He's already bringing his key leaders together. All right. There they are right there. These are all his people that he brought. They were all in another company. I don't know exactly what happened, but apparently, that company had challenges, and he found a home with us. And this also happened in the last 10 days. All right. Well, now, where's Martin here? Let's get to the end here, you guys. I want to share this one with you here. He's waiting for me on Zoom. I didn't show up. We crossed wires on the time. There he is. There is Martin. Now look at the date. What day is this? Yesterday. He's on a bus now, expected to reach Kenya at 6 a.m. He's traveling all night to Nairobi so he can go to the For Life office over there and meet with his Kenyan people, see the office, take them to the office. There they are going over the pay plan. He's starting to train his people. This is what networking's about, you know? Yes, my leader, this is what I like for sure. They're much ready to receive you. So I guess I'm gonna be doing a Zoom with him here in the next day or two. But the reason I'm sharing this with you guys, that never would have happened if when Eduardo called me and said, "Would you talk to Martin?" All right, that connection happened. Okay, and Jillian brought this up, and this is so critical. Trust. Why did Martin decide to bring all of his people to us, to me, to this community, to this family? Why did he get on a bus and go over to Kenya and take his people to the office? He trusts us. He believes in us. And we don't want to let him down. And that's how I feel, you see? So that's the attitude that we want to have. But there's so many people out there. I don't care if you're in Uganda or if you're in St. Martin on an island like Jillian is, you can build a global business. Globalization is real. As long as you have access to the internet and you can communicate with people, start planting seeds. Jump into communities. I mean, Jillian, you can do a whole talk on this. We won't do it today, but getting in communities of maybe fibromyalgia, women that struggle. That's a lot of women struggle from fibromyalgia pain. Maybe diabetics. If you want to approach from the health and wellness side, if you want to approach it from the business side, there's all kinds of communities out there, home-based businesses, working from home, success from home, things like that. They're all over out there. There's these communities. Just start planting seeds, making friends, building your personal brand as well. Well, thank you all for being here today. Jillian, thanks for jumping in and participating. I think we're going to have a lot of people coming in that Martin's going to be bringing into our Mentor Mondays here from Uganda and Kenya. So I'm excited about that. And here, think about it. Eduardo has no clue what's even happening. He messaged me last night. Dave, have you heard from Martin? Haven't heard from Martin. You guys saw the messages, yeah, I've heard from Martin. Go ahead, Jillian.
We're just going to close up now for tonight, but I know, Lloyd, do you want to try your mic again? Because I know I just asked you to unmute, so let's try again. Is it working? Try one more time. We did unmute you. I'm not sure if it's coming in from your end. Nope. Lloyd, you can message me from WhatsApp, for those that did come in through me, you can message me on WhatsApp and I'll try to answer your questions directly. But just to give you a heads up, next week, for our topic of next week, we're actually going to be having an open opportunity for questioning. We might even do a little bit of a business opportunity meeting next week, so next Monday. So if you have anybody interested in the business, we'll do probably a small business opportunity meeting which explain the benefits of the company. We'll do a little bit of celebrations next week as well. It is the end of the month in February, so we want to do a little bit more of a call out of everybody's successes. And this is great that we have an opportunity and a forum to do this. It's nice to see so many new faces here. And remember, like I said, we're not limited with location. I don't want anybody to think that they're limited with locations. And so we have an opportunity to reach out to anybody and anybody, because I'm a living example of that. Remember, I was told I couldn't have run a business on this island because I did not have an LP center, and I was told I did not have that opportunity. So, and then I didn't take no for an answer. And look at me, I made presidential elite, and how quickly from that. And, I do work with a lot of naturopaths. I do work with a lot of nurses and doctors, and for those that are coming from the medical field. And by the way, there's a lot of people out there right now, especially with everything that's happening in the world right now, that are looking for work. So this is a great opportunity for you to be offering something, especially with the new focus of the Make America Healthy Again. For me, it's all about the natural solutions. So we're able to give them natural solutions and offer some relief with all the stuff that's going on medically with people. Why not then funnel it through you, especially if you have that expertise? So I don't want you ever underestimating the power of what we have. Yes, it's a little bit different approach than what you're used to, but guess what? It can be done. If I can do it on an island, on a beach where I barely have internet half the days, okay, you can do it too. Okay. All right. So thank you, everybody. And we're going to close out. And
Hey, Jillian, real quick, I apologize.
ahead.
Melissa had a question. I'm just going to answer it real fast. Melissa, you
Sure.
said, how does an emerging market get a For Life office presence? It's important to understand that every place in the world where For Life does have an office, except maybe one country, they were all emerging markets at one point. And I participated in opening most of them, all of them in South America. I went there first and started taking products in suitcases, finding people interested. Some markets worked out very well, others didn't. Why? It depends on the people. You don't know. Everybody has, I should say, everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to have their dreams. Well, the question is who deserves it? Okay. And that's kind of the attitude of For Life and even of me. If I'm going to travel somewhere and invest my time and energy and money, I want to make sure I'm doing it in places where not only are they interested, they're working. So we opened up Ecuador and Colombia and Peru and Chile and Bolivia and Brazil and Costa Rica and Panama and all these countries. Well, as sales go up, For Life takes more of an interest, you see. So it's kind of like we go there, we get it started. Once sales start going up, you start having a bronze and a silver. And we did this with Mongolia. Mongolia, there's more cows than people in Mongolia, just so y'all know. Okay. Well, the company supported Mongolia. If you look at For Life, you'll see Mongolia under select country. Okay. That's because of a gold in Mongolia. So they'll support one person if they're building. So that's how you do it. You build, and the company will come in and say, you know what, we need to do something there, and they'll support you.
We have Lloyd just put in the chat. I wanted to ask about For Life African markets. How has been the networking?
Um, it's been interesting to say the least. It just depends on leadership, Lloyd. You know,
We have
look,
Dr. Regina on the call right now too, so it's interesting.
oh, Dr. Well, I was just going to mention Dr. Ogina. You know, when you have people like Dr. Ogina, who's up in Kenya helping run, the office that's in Kenya, as a medical doctor, a networker. Dr. Ogina has experience. And so we've established that level of trust. Dr. Ogina has come over to some conventions. He was at our convention in Utah. He was at our convention in Florida. He even went to Disney World. Um, and so there's a high level of trust. I've honestly found that that's not been an easy thing for me to establish with Africa. And I'm not going to blame anybody, but I'm just saying that there has to be a high level of trust. I mean, think about it. If somebody's sending products over and someone's handling money, well, you have to have checks and balances. And I don't want to get into that today, but that you have to have a system set up. We have that in Kenya, and it works well. If we can duplicate that setup in other places, wonderful. But you have to have the right people. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. And like I said, once you have an account, you're not just limited to your location.
Right.
You can be recruiting and selling to people in other locations. So just so you guys know, majority of my business is from Canada and the US and Australia. And I'm in the Caribbean. So just so you know. So once you find people that are interested, that's how you can grow your business. Okay? Make sense? All right. All right, guys. All right, so I'm just going to say good day to everybody. Just to close out for tonight, we do have Real Talk tonight. So that's 8 p.m. Eastern on Monday. It's all about having laughter in the medical field, which is going to be an interesting conversation tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow night, please make sure that you're part of the Good Health Stories and Solutions group, because that is a great opportunity to have a behind the door conversation, where tomorrow night we are in health month, heart health month. So we are going to be sharing some testimonials about heart health and letting people know about our miracle molecule. So if you have people that's interested or not feeling well, they're dealing with heart issues right now, you may want to invite them to that call. If you're not part of the Good Health Stories and Solutions, please message the person who invited you to make sure you get invited, because that is a great opportunity to open up the doors and have those honest conversations without people having fear of being recorded. Okay, so thank you everybody, and thank you for everybody that showed up from everywhere. Don't hesitate to reach out to me or the person who invited you to get more questions answered for you, and good luck in Utah. Okay, Dave, give him everybody's feedback. Talk to you
Hey,
soon.
keep going, keep growing. Love you
Thank you
guys.
everybody.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.